The Rocket Review is sponsored by Why Not Saloon.
He's a comedian, an actor, a writer, a painter, and a doctorate? Did you do it all? Yakov Smirnoff? Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. It's great to hear those things. I don't put them together.
They're all true, though.
They are true.
Well, I got to bring this up, too. I heard a rumor, Yakov, that you actually started out as a singer. So you were actually in the music industry for a brief window before comedy.
Very brief. Yeah, I was 15 years old, and I'm in this school to become a refrigeration mechanic. Because comedy was not even in the view, and at that time my parents were worried that I'm not gonna achieve anything or accomplish anything, right? So they had the talent show, and they said, "Would you like to be in it?" I said, "Sure." "What would you like to do?" I said, "I'd like to sing." And so I did one song, and I started hearing laughter during the song. It was a serious song. It was very emotional kind of song. And boy, that sobered me up immediately. I'm going, I don't think I'm doing the right thing. But the good news was that I was also master of ceremonies. In between, I would have to fill in, and I would tell jokes.
Right.
And then I heard the laughter, but I knew that was the right one,
And
not
then you
the
were
other
hooked.
one. I was. I loved it. Since then, I continued to do this.
And what a great
life.
career, too, because, I mean, you and your family first immigrated here in what, 1977?
Correct.
And from Russia, but it's like, what a career, all the movies you've been in. I always remember seeing you in Night Court.
Yes.
And then now you've got, I think in 1993, you opened up your Branson, theater.
My own 2,000-seat theater, where I entertain over 4 million, actually now up to 6 million people. And it's probably more than that, but I stopped counting. And it's been a great place, but it wasn't like something I was aiming for. I was pretty successful in the 80s after making movies and commercials and Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
Tonight Show, and I remember seeing you with Robin Williams.
Yeah.
And with Richard Pryor and Tom Hanks. It's like you were everywhere.
I honestly, I thought every immigrant gets a movie,
That'd be a great deal.
Yeah, you come to America and they say, "Would you like to be with Meryl Streep and Jack Nicholson?" Sure, I'll do it.
And everybody goes on the Johnny Carson show, too. It's like, and that's not true. We both know that. That's a select few.
It was very select. It took me like 6 years to get on the show, in the Tonight Show.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't something that I could easily get. And the person who was in charge, Jim McCauley, he was kind of a gatekeeper for the Johnny.
Yeah.
And he would come to the Comedy Store and he would see me perform, and he would say, "Johnny's just not going to like you. He's not going to like you."
And he was wrong.
Yeah, but it took 6 years. He literally said to me on the sixth time, he said, "Let's just save time. You're going to get on that show when the hell freezes over." So I started watching Weather Channel because I'm going, well, maybe there's a chance, right? And I let it go. And then I was doing other things and commercial. And I did a commercial for Miller Lite. Was in America, you can always find a party. In Russia, a party always finds you.
Right.
And Carson saw it, and he said to Macaulay, why don't we have this guy on? He's funny. And Macaulay said, "Oh, we were about to." Yeah. So I got a phone call from Mitzi Shore. She was the owner of the Comedy Store, and she said, "Guess who called Macaulay?" And she was very much wanted me to be on Tonight Show. And he said, "He wants you on because Johnny saw you." And so I got on, and Johnny called me over which is very unusual for him in the first time.
Right.
To get me to sit down, and I sat down, and I said, you know, Johnny, I love America because you have things we never had in Russia, like policemen have warning shots. And he almost fell off the chair. So then Macaulay, in the commercial break, comes and sits next between us, and he goes, can you do this again?
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of months from now? And I go, start watching Weather Channel.
Right.
He goes, why? I go, because the hell will freeze over.
Yeah.
So
that is so, well,
yeah.
you know, and I got to bring this up too, to where you've accomplished so much in your career, not only in comedy, in movies, TV, Night Court, hanging out with Ronald Reagan, you know, being in the inner circle and doing comedy with him, but also you've got your own podcast now.
I do.
The Comfy Couch Podcast.
Yeah, Comedy Couch.
Comedy Couch, I was so close.
Yeah, Comfy is actually, it is comfy.
What a country.
Yeah, well,
You get your own podcast too.
And you get it comfy, yes. I do, and I talk to touring comedians, and I'm at Zany's, so I'm going to be doing several podcasts here.
Yeah.
And
you recently were on the Ryman. Invited on the stage to do comedy at the Mother Church in Nashville.
I know. I didn't know where I was.
You're everywhere.
Well, but it was very a pleasant surprise when, because it was Nate Bargatze's showcase of all the clean comedy, and I fit in, and they invited me. You know, Brian Dorfman, who is a promoter, said, hey, why don't you go up? And I, sure, and so I did. And it was so exciting.
Standing ovation.
That was totally unexpected in the middle of the show. And that's something I totally did not expect.
It's a testament to your comedy, though.
Well, thank you.
That it just transcends and what you bring to audiences. And you have it. You know, and especially when Nate on, Nate Bargatze on his podcast does a whole show talking about seeing you in Springfield, and he's talking about what a legend you are.
Well, thank you.
So I'm so thankful that you didn't pursue the singing career now.
Nah, so much.
But then again, you got a master's and a doctorate in psychology, and even taught courses.
Yes,
you know,
at Missouri State University. Yeah, I taught it for like 3 years, 4 years. But then I stopped because the students really wanted to learn how to tell jokes. And I was not doing that. I was actually teaching how to create laughter.
Right,
and
the science of it.
It's the science of it, and I am very passionate about it. So I feel I owe my wonderful marriage to a beautiful woman because I kind of cracked the code, and I realize how to sustain the laughter.
Right.
Most people
and also
don't.
some good painting.
Well, that's a secret. That's
another secret talent.
It's a secret.
But you can't use it anymore. You can't paint anymore now.
Yeah, I have to get the permission this time because I was doing it to attract, just like peacock spreads his feathers. I was doing all the painting, and it was a lot of fun to kind of, you know, attract the partner in life. And once I met my wife, I stopped painting because now she's worried when I'm painting.
Well, I'm thankful you haven't stopped the comedy, though, because I know that, you're touring, you're still playing, at your theater in Branson at least once a week. You've got your incredible podcast, The Comedy Couch, that you're doing, and I think you're going to be probably coming to Nashville a lot more. I've got a feeling.
I like it here. I really enjoy this town. It has a wonderful energy, and you have taller buildings than Branson does.
But we don't have a Lambert's in Springfield here. There's no Lambert's close by.
They don't know. They might not know. It's like when they throw rolls at you.
At Lambert's. But you know.
I can live without Lambert's. Yes.
Well, I want to make sure that our viewers can't live without you or your great comedy. And so for your website, social media, for the podcast, everything, and to come see you perform live, Yakov, where do they need to go?
Oh, go to yakov.com. This probably all-encompassing, that's my website. But you can follow me on social media, on Instagram, I'll be honest, I wasn't into Instagram because people follow you, and in the Soviet Union, when you were followed, that was not a good thing. So for years, I stayed away from Instagram. But now I'm there, and I do shows in Branson, Missouri on a regular basis. You just go to my website, and you can find me there. And one thing I guarantee, that you will laugh your yak off.
And be sure and catch him on tour, because there's going to be more tour news coming up with Yakov all over the country, and also possibly a Netflix documentary, and he's in talks also on another book. So be sure and follow Yakov Smirnoff on his website, on social media. Follow him, but in a good way, and you're going to want to check him out live, and his podcast, The Comedy Couch. Yakov, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me on.
Check him out and go see him live.
The Rocket Review is sponsored by Why Not Saloon.